What is up, guys? In today's tutorial we're going to be going over how to create the lightsaber effect. Now just to start off, again, just double click in here. We're going to be importing our video file. Be happy you have such a cool teacher that forgets things and forgot the video in school of the actual student that was going to be participating in the lightsaber for me. So I had to re-record at home. So I have my footage here. I'm going to go ahead and drag my footage into my composition right here. That creates my composition, and it creates the exact time that I need for this entire effect and whatnot, right? So right here, as you can see, is I walk into frame. I play around with the lightsaber, blah, 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 blah. And then I throw the lightsaber away with the intentions of maybe reversing it to make it look like I'm grabbing the lightsaber. And then maybe I can do everything in reverse. I don't know, might look kind of cool. And then it just like kind of goes away. Yeah, it might look kind of cool in reverse. Let's try that. So I'm going to go ahead and go to time and then time reverse layer. Now we have everything starting in reverse. The audio is one of the things we don't really need from this video, so we're going to remove that. Yeah, that looks awesome. Alright, so we're going to do this in reverse. So remember, right click, time, and reverse. Time reverse. That's how we're going to start. So to create our lightsaber, it's a very easy process, but it's very, very tedious. One of the first things I had to do was with my camera, go ahead and record. Your settings need to be at 24 frames per second. The reason why is because there's going to be 24 frames every second, meaning you're going to have to move the lightsaber 24 times every given second. So when you think about 30 seconds, I don't know the math, but that's a lot of frames that you have to do. But normally cameras record at 60 frames per second, so you can just imagine how long this would be if we were doing it at 60 frames per second. So the first thing we're doing is right click, create a new composition, and we're going to create a solid. Make sure that our solid is set to white. So go ahead and change the color over to white, and we're just going to name this lightsaber. And then make sure your settings are correct, which is 1920 by 1080, which is what we're working with, and we'll click OK. And the first thing we're going to want to do is grab our pen tool and just create a square. Once you have your square selected, then we're going to play through our footage here. Once I grab my lightsaber, and right around here is when it starts. So I'm going to go ahead and set my first keyframe of this to be right there, which is roughly around 8 seconds and 10 milliseconds. So now what I'm going to do is go ahead and grab this and bring it here somewhere. Put this one over here. And I'm going to start zooming in here because this is going to require for me to be very precise. I'm going to set this right here and set it as close as possible because I don't want this to be seen. So there, now they're on top of each other, and so you won't be able to see nothing, right? So what I'm going to do from here, right around there, is open up my mask by pressing M on my keyboard, and I have my mask path. I'm going to go ahead and set a keyframe right there. So by holding Control on your keyboard and using the arrow keys on your keyboard, you're able to jump to your next frame, which is this one. I don't see a change there, so I'll go one more. Don't see a change yet, so I'll go one more, and one more. So this is where we first see the change in our little lightsaber. We start seeing this little blue pattern. So right here, I'm going to go ahead and move this over to this side, and I'm going to click out so I can see this as circles. And I'm gonna go ahead and try to grab one. Just make sure that I can set this up just perfect and put this here and this one like somewhere just like so, right there. And then control and next frame, as you can see, this moves now even more. So I'll go ahead and set this one here, this one here, this one here, and this one here. Control and next, and just keep moving this as you need. Now each time that you're moving this, it's actually creating another keyframe for you down here at the bottom because you have your stopper right there turned on. So next frame, this moves a little more. This actually moves a little more this way. And next frame, this moves a little more. And so yes, this is going to take a while, so I'll probably fast forward through these little steps and just kind of come back to you whenever something complicated in the footage might arise. But for the most part, it should be pretty basic. So it's just going to take a while, so put on some music and just work your way through it. It's a tedious, like I mentioned, it's tedious, but it's well worth it at the end. The effect looks awesome. Um, you've seen a lot of the Star Wars movies probably, and you've seen how cool it looks. And once we do it one time, we're able to, let me zoom back in, we're able to just duplicate it to create the rest of the effects. So I'm just gonna keep going, and I'll come back as soon as I finish. I'll just fast forward through this entire thing. You'll watch me do the whole thing, and I'll let you know how long it took me. It is 10:17. Alright guys, so in this part, this is about the time where if I hide this, you start to notice that it kind of curves out here. So we kind of want to create those curves. Stop. So what we're going to do that is grab our pen tool right here. And if you hold it down, you'll see like an add point right here to add points. We're just going to go ahead and click right here in the center. Let me zoom in. And just click right there, and we're going to add a point there, and we're going to come over here and add one more point there. And then we go back to our selection tool, click outside so they turn into little circles, and now we can start moving it like so. So it gives us a little more to work with, but the effect will look better overall. And again, I'll just come back when I finish. Point, this is one of those times where I have to kind of explain what we have to do. So because it completely hides underneath, you're gonna have to just grab this, put it halfway through right here, and then bring these to kind of match up and hide it. Now make sure it's hidden and you can't see it. Just like that, and then you wait for the next frame, which pops up over here, and you can now bring these guys back out, and so that one goes up there, and then just start arranging them like so, and then we'll continue. So I know it is a long process, but believe me, the ending is always worth it. Because this is a tutorial, of course, the ending may be not as worth it as you'd like it to be because it's me instead of you in a scene that you created. But once you create a scene in your head and you make it, realistic in After Effects, it's totally worth the weight of this. And besides, when we start working on the effects, everybody can take turns either working on this effect, or you guys can say like, hey, well, you work on one effect and I'll work on the lightsaber and things like that. But yeah, so let me go ahead and continue on this, and again, I'll see you when Okay, guys. Wow, it is now 12:57 in the morning, and I finally finished. I actually skipped a bunch of frames here. You can kind of see the sword in some of them. But yeah, this is woo. Took me a long time to finish. It's getting late, and I need to finish this for you guys for you all to see it the next day. All right. So, anyways, now that we've done all this, we can now press delete. I'm just kidding. No, don't do that. What we're going to do is close this up and open it again, and you'll see one that says mask opacity. And we're actually going to play with that opacity because you can kind of see it here, and I want to remove that. So this is about the time that the the lightsaber actually pops out. So I'm going to put an opacity right there and set it to that normal one right here. And I'm going to press these buttons down here to go ahead and bring up my settings. And so right there I want it set to 100, but just like, let me see here. Don't let me zoom into it just to make sure that's where I'm at. Yeah, okay. So one layer behind it, I want it set to 0. Right, so now if I let go of the lightsaber, you won't see anything on this side until I actually, decide to bring it out. Right? Yeah, so that's perfect. Zoom this out now. Yeah, so that's good. And then I'll go ahead and bring this all the way to the end. And then just zoom in. Make sure that I did this correctly here, because I don't remember what it is that I did. And so right here is where it completely like dies out. So I'm gonna go ahead and add a keyframe. You guys are not gonna have to do this part because I'm not gonna have you do the entire tutorial. It takes way too long. So after that, I'm gonna go one more, and I'm gonna set this one over to 0. And so it should be, yeah, so it basically just disappears right there. And then I kind of like walk away, so as soon as that's done, I'm just going to stop it right there at 30 seconds, and then trim comp to there. Okay, so awesome. Now we have this entire footage of this. Alright, so the next step that you have to do here is actually create a new solid, new and solid. We're going to call this one black. Make sure you switch it over to black. Click OK and click OK. And we're going to put this one right underneath this one. And if you actually play it through, you should have what looks like a lightsaber on a black solid. So this guy right here, we're actually going to delete now because we don't really need him. And we're actually going to duplicate this one 4 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we're going to press M, or let's see, MM. There we go. Press M twice. And under feather, we're going to switch this one to 1. And then close it by pressing M. So MM. And this one, we're going to switch it to 10. And then MM. Oops, or close it. There we go. MM. This one will switch to 30. And press M. And then this one will switch over to 60. Close it. And then this one will switch to 120. And then close it. So now you should see a glowing lightsaber. Huh? Looks pretty cool, right? So now what we're going to go ahead and do is go ahead and grab your movie footage and drag it into a, well, actually we don't need to drag it anywhere. We can just make sure all of these are highlighted. Go to layer and pre-compose and call it light saber and click OK. And we can actually bring this guy back down. We actually shouldn't have deleted him in the first place. And we're just gonna click the little icon here because we don't need the sounds. And we're going to switch this one to screen. If you don't see your mode here, like I don't, you'll see down here toggle switches. Go ahead and press it, and then we can switch it over to screen. So, oh God. What has happened? Oh yeah, I know what happened. Since we deleted it, this guy needs to actually go in time and reverse time layer. There we go. And let's see here, and there we go. Alright, so perfect. So now, the last thing is to add color. So let's go and highlight this guy, go to our effects, and click in here, see if we can add our vibrance, and there you go. If you have this plugin installed, you can just choose whatever color you want. I'm gonna go with a kind of a, well, I guess maybe let's go with the red. The red one's pretty cool, I guess. Dark red, no, red right there, and maybe pull the vibrance up a little bit. Preserve luminous, maybe drop it down a little. Brightness, not too much, right around there. And so yeah, that looks pretty cool. And there you have it, folks. This is how you create a lightsaber effect. So let's go ahead and render that out from beginning to end. So I come in backwards and break it up. And that's it. So hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. I know it's very long and tedious, but hey, at the very end, I think the effect looks freaking awesome. So, if you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. You want to keep in touch for more upcoming videos, just remember to subscribe and go ahead and press that button that allows you to get notifications. And I'll see you guys on the next one.